Hey friend, in case you're a little bit confused as to what happened yesterday, January 26, 2024, I wanted to go over it with you in an easy to understand manner. So on December 29th, South Africa filed a legal case with the ICJ, which is the International Court of Justice, accusing Israel of violating the Genocide Convention, which, in case you're not aware of, establishes on state parties the obligation to prevent and to punish the crime of genocide. So while this case can take years, the court can implement an interim measure. Interim meaning in the meantime. So some of the demands South Africa asked the ICJ to order as provisions were for Israel to suspend military operations in and against Gaza, Israel's military organizations not escalate military operations any further, Israel allow access to adequate food, water, fuel, shelter, hygiene, and sanitation, Israel prevent the destruction of Palestinian life in Gaza, Israel not destroy evidence relevant to South Africa's genocide allegations against it, and not deny international organizations such as fact-finding missions access to Gaza to help preserve the evidence. So what happened? So yesterday, Friday, January 26, 2024, the ICJ ruled on South Africa's request for an interim judgment in its genocide case against Israel. What the ICJ ruled was that Israel must take all measures within its power to prevent all acts listed in Article 2 of the Genocide Convention from occurring, ensure that its military forces not commit any acts outlined in Article 2 of the Genocide Convention, prevent and punish direct incitement to commit genocide, prevent the destruction of evidence related to the crime of genocide against the Palestinian people, to immediately provide humanitarian aid to Gaza, and last but not least, to submit a report to the ICJ by February 26, 2024, outlining what it is doing to uphold these orders, falling short of ordering a ceasefire in its ruling. The court denied Israel's request to dismiss the case. So let's really break down what that really means. We have the United Nations accept the case, which shows that they see that genocide is being committed. And as their interim measure, they tell Israel, essentially, hey, we see that you're committing genocide and, genocide's not good. So make sure you're not doing that. And make sure that you're following the rules and you punish anybody who isn't following the rules, which, in case y'all haven't been following, a lot of government high-ranking officials in Israel use genocide language when they speak on international television. A quick Google search will show you this. They know what they are doing. So the United Nations essentially just told them, hey, please don't do it. And punish anybody who is doing it. And it's a little too obvious. And just make sure, to let some aid in and feed them. But you don't have to stop. You don't have to stop this bombardment. And in a month, just write us a letter and tell us what you did, what you're doing better, and and yeah, okay, bye. And then following this ruling, we have Israel alleged that some employees in the UNRWA, which is the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees, in case you weren't aware of, that some of the employees employed by this UNRWA were involved in the attacks on October 7th, which, in case you're not aware of, they employ 13,000 people, and they are accusing 12 people of being part of these attacks without evidence at that. And in turn, we have the US, the UK, Australia, Canada, Italy, and Finland stop funding until an investigation is led and concluded on these allegations. So we are seeing time and time again proof on social media of this genocide that is happening before our eyes. And these nations are like, oh, like, that's like, what genocide? That's not happening. But then when they hear these simple allegations without any proof or value whatsoever, they retaliate and they actually enforce repercussions. Do y'all not see what's happening? Like, just really sit down with this and just, like, see the way that this is moving before our eyes.